Yeah, as of now, we have covered all these operations like copy, create directory, delete, and move, read, rename, write, right? So now we are going to discuss about the list and on your update file. So these two are some bit difficult concept, I can say. So that's why we'll create a separate application for these two operations. How we can create a separate application? File, new, mule project. So here I can create a separate application. File underscore new underscore app. Click on finish button. So then it will create a project for you. So it will create an empty project for you. So let's wait. So the only difficult part is like if you observe here in interviews also most of the time they will ask the questions like this like what is the okay, first of all I'll in this new project also I'll add the file module. Let's discuss. I have included this file module into my project. Okay, it is loading. Yeah, here most of the time interviews also they will ask like this kind of questions. What is the difference between the read and on your update file? These questions they will ask, and sometimes they will ask like what is the purpose of list, and also like write. What is the difference between the read and write, or is copy and move? So in the combination they will ask the questions. Okay, so let's see how this list will work. Okay, so you can drag this list first of all we need to drag HTTP listener to start my flow, and after that I'm dragging list operation. So what is the list operation will do? Usually it is also same work like as a read operation only. So read will read the only single file, but list will read multiple files. That is the only difference you can see. Okay, let's see how it will work. So here it is asking for the HTTP listener configuration. Click on plus button and click on OK. Give some path. Okay, list is my path, and here I'll create a one folder. Okay, I'll create a one folder. It's called like input. New folder. SRC main resource. On top of SRC main resource, I'm creating a folder. So input. Finish. So it will create a folder here. So inside folder, I'll place some files. Okay, already in yesterday example, I have some files, right? So same files I'll take. In this, I have files. Okay, copy. Okay, so let's otherwise simply these two files is enough. Copy. So these two files I'll place in my current application. Paste here. So here in this input folder now I have two files. So if I use read operation, I can read one specific file, but if I use list operation, it will read all the files inside that folder. Okay, let's see. And first I want to see what is the data inside that file. Okay, so this is the kind of a customer data, right? So I'll change this file name as well. Okay, so this file name I want to change as a student file. Okay, so two different details I want to store. Student details. Okay, a student.txt. This is the customer.txt. So in the student.txt I want I have all the student details. Student ID, student name. Okay, city, email, mobile is common for everyone, right? So for the customer and student. So now I have two files data. So if I want to read particular file, I can use the read component. I can use the read component. But if I want to read all the files, I can use the list component. Let's see how the list will work. First of all, I want to like give this input folder path. So src main resource. Okay, it is showing, it is referring the previous project one. Close others. Okay, close others. Let me try again. Sorry, it is going to the previous example, but I don't want to go to the previous example. Okay. So let's. So what is my application name? File new app. File new app. Inside file new app, src main resource. src main resource and input folder. So I'm selecting this folder anyway. So inside this folder we have two files. Let's see, will this list component will read these two files or not? Okay, let's see. So for after that I want to keep one transfer message, and in this transfer message I will place payload in a JSON format. I want to see from the browser. So can anyone tell me like how this like which file will read, customer or student, or two files at a time? Like how we can see the two files data at a time? We'll see. I'll run this application. So here it's a bit we have some kind of a bit challenging things. Most of the times in this all file components, most of the times we'll use read and write list. Okay, these components will use read, write, list most of the time. Okay, these things will not use that much. Copy, create directory, delete, all these things. Delete also will use. List is very useful components while working with the multiple files. In real time also most of the time people will work multiple files only. So that's why like you have to focus more on this component, list component. So here I'll give some kind of a list. Use the get method. Instead of read, I'll use the list. So is it deployed? Yes, it is deployed. I'm clearing the console. I'm sending the request. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting the response. Okay, I'm copying this response, entire response. I'm pasting into one notepad for your better understanding. Okay, Control V. Let's see. So this is the first file data. This is the second file data you are getting. Okay. So we have first file data. What is our first file data normally? So if you see, this is my first data, first file data. This is my second file data. But here it is written. So including that payload. Okay, this is the payload. This is the first file payload, customer payload. Okay, this is the student payload. All this here you can see student ID, student name, all this thing. This is the customer payload, customer ID, customer name. So along with this payload it will retain like some metadata you can see. Okay, these all metadata relate to the second file. This all metadata is related to the first file. Even first file attributes also it is returning. This is the second attribute, second file attributes. So in these attributes you can see more details regarding that particular file. For example, first it is iterating first file, it is reading the first file. So it is giving the first file data. Along with this, it is giving the time, like when we access that file, that time, modifying time, creation time, some kind of a path also from where we read that file. Okay, so input folder customer.txt, and size, so it is in KB, 163 KB, and even name also, that file name also we are getting. Okay, and also this is all about second file details, like last access and creation time, path also. This is the student.txt, this is the same path only but file name is different. Size is, this is a bit more, like 164 kbs. Name is student.txt. Okay, so here I want to print only file name as well as the uh, payload. Okay, so for each file I want to print only these two details. How can I print? Okay, this is the entire payload you can see. Okay, this is the entire payload you can see. Inside payload you will get multiple objects. So this time if you want to print, you have to use the map operator. Okay, so in this transform message you need to map properly. Okay, so in the student also I don't want to give this array symbol, I want to give a single object anyway. Okay, so let's map this in a transform message. Okay, so you have to carefully map. Simply write a map function here. Okay, simply write a map function here, and map function you have to write, and curly braces you have to take. Inside curly braces whatever you want to print, okay, that thing you can write. For example, file name I want to print. Okay, file name I want to print, file name colon. So if I want to print file name, so if you consider this is entire dollar dot attributes dot name, nothing but file name it will give. The same thing I'll write here, dollar dot, okay, attributes dot name. Otherwise file name also can write file name or name, anything is fine. Okay, but it is showing here name only, but here let's see, I'll give the name only, but there it is. Yeah, anything is fine. Okay, anything is fine, you can give name or file name, anything is fine. Okay, let's see, file name I'll give as of now. If it is not working, then I'll give the name here. File name I'm printing, and content or data, anything is fine, right? Data I want to print. How can I print data? Dollar dot payload. Okay, so if I want to print these values, these all values inside attributes, right? So that's why dollar dot attributes dot path I need to give like this. But if I'm printing only these values, okay, this is not on these values not under attributes, right? So directly I can print. Okay, so payload dot sorry, dollar dot payload, that's it. Okay, these two data just I want to print. Even if I want to print path also I can print. How can I print the path? Dollar dot attributes dot path. So in that way I can print the path also. Colon dollar dot attributes dot path. How the path is? This is the path, right? Path comma we have to give. Okay, so in this way you have to maintain your data. Let's see now how this will print. Okay, so I'm again sending the data. Now you can see, so file name it is printing customer.txt, path also it is printing, data also it is printing. So, okay, even I'll copy this. So previously it is printing all this data, right? This time I have mapped only particular data. Now you can see file name customer.txt, path, this is the path, data, this is the data, entire data, and this is the second file name student.txt, path, this is the path for the student, and this is the student data content, every data. Okay, in this way if we have multiple file details, file data, okay, if you have multiple files in a folder, if you want to read all the files and if you want to return all the file data, you have to use the list operation. It is very important. Okay, it is very important. So here you can see file matching pattern also. For example, sometimes I have some txt files and csv file, json files. I have multiple types of files I have available in the input folder, but I want to read only particular json files, or if I want to read only particular text files, here you need to give some file matching rules. Okay, so if you click on edit inline, you can see file matching rules. There is a lot of file matching rules are available. Okay, so for example, if you want to read based on the size, minimum sizes, maximum size, you want to read only 500 MB or like above 500 MB files only, you can read if you give the matching rules here. And also like file pattern also, if you give the pattern, okay, path pattern, file pattern, it will consider all the things. Okay, access. So there is a lot of file matching rules are available, so you can utilize this. Most of the times we'll use this file name pattern. So file name pattern means if you want to read only kind of a dot, okay, dot txt files, you can give that pattern name here. So then it will read only txt files. It will not read any other xml or json files like that. Okay, so this is a recursive mode, this is a directory path, and advanced section you can see some kind of other options also. Reconnection strategy you can see. Okay, in this way you can utilize the list operation. And last but not least, something kind of, here you can see on your update file, it is completely different. Okay, it is completely different. You have to understand very carefully this is. Okay, so you can drag this in a source level. If you want to read your file in a source level, you have to use the on your update file. So even I'm also not tried this before, we'll try this. Okay, on your update file, how this will work, we'll see. Okay, first of all, okay, first of all I'll give one transform message also here. Let's take one transform message. Want to convert in a JSON format. Sorry, where would I want to convert in a JSON format? Actually, it is not converting. So if you want to convert forcefully, you have to use the read function. Read function you can use, then it will properly convert into a application by JSON. Let's see will it convert or not. Okay, so this syntax you have to write to convert proper JSON. Okay, so in the on your update file, I need to choose one location, right? So here, first of all, I'll take only one file. Okay, I don't want to read all the files. First, I want to read only one file. So this location I have to give. Okay, this file I'll move to the API folder. That is no need to worry. Okay, so let's see. We'll also try some options, different options today. Yeah, here I'll take the input folder. Okay, SRC main resource input folder. In this input folder, I have customer.txt file. Let's see how it will read. Okay, so here if I want to, okay, close started. Close started. So if this flow started, okay, if this triggered, automatically this logger will print. Okay, we will see that thing also. And here how it will read actually, so it will read based on some certain time interval. Here you can see time frequency. For 1000 milliseconds it will read for every time, nothing but every 1 sec. Otherwise if you are not calculating 1000 milliseconds means 1 second. If you are not calculating in milliseconds, you can change the time unit also. If you change seconds, every 1000 seconds it will trigger and it will read the file. I don't want to wait that much time, so that's why every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds it will trigger this file and it will read the data. Start delay means sometimes, first of all I have changed this settings, right? First I need to save this, nothing but it will read apply. Whenever it will read apply, immediately it will trigger the file by default. If you keep the start delay 0, immediately it will trigger the file and it will read the data. But if I mentioned here 3 seconds, nothing but, even though if I read applied immediately, it will not trigger this file immediately. Okay, it will trigger this file after 3 seconds. Why I am triggering this file after 3 seconds? In some scenario, in some real-time scenarios, before reading this file, you need to perform some mandatory operations. Some other operations you need to perform. For example, before reading this file, I want to take some backup of this file. Okay, so that is I have built in separate flow. So before running this flow, you have to run that flow. So that flow will take at least 1 second or 2 seconds. So that's why I have given start delay 3 seconds. So meanwhile, it is running after 3 seconds. This flow will execute completely. Nothing but this mandatory activity will done. So after that, it will pick this file and it will process. So before picking this file, you can perform some other operations also. So in that scenario, the start delay will useful, very useful. So time unit means sometimes if you want to re-trigger your file every 5 days, you can, it will re-trigger automatically. If you deploy and you can leave it, so every 5 days automatically it will re-trigger at the same time 9:39, same time it will re-trigger. Okay, so based on the like time unit it will perform. By defaultly we have milliseconds, but we can increase to seconds also. So here you can see, so this will happen only first time only. First time only it will trigger 3 seconds late. So second time onwards, every 5 seconds it will trigger. Okay, in that way it will work. Let's see that thing also we can see. That thing also we can see. And in this way I have configured, and here you can see auto delete false. So what is this auto delete? If I enable this auto delete true, whenever it will trigger this folder and it will read the file, automatically it will delete. If I enable this true. But if I enable this false, by default false, nothing but, even though if I read, so the still the file will existing here. So here two behaviors you can see. If I enable true, what will happen? First it will trigger. First it will trigger. After 3 seconds it will trigger. It will read that data. Already have enabled auto delete, right? So this file will delete and it will execute successfully. And second time after 5 seconds, it will trigger, but there is no files, right? So that's why it will not process any data. It will not process any data. When if you enable auto delete is true, so then multiple times it will not iterate. If you enable like auto delete false, so first time I have read this file and I got the data, I have processed. So after 5 seconds again I'm triggering the data, I'm getting the same data, I'm reprocessing. Okay, if anyone updated the data into this file, even that new data also will get in the second iteration. Okay, every time you want to re-trigger same file, you should not, like you should not enable auto delete true. Okay, so you should delete you should enable auto delete false. So one time only I want to read, after that I don't want to use this file. So in that scenario, definitely you can go with the auto delete false. Okay. Once you read the file, you want to move to this file, some separate file. Okay. I'm deleting, but I don't have any backup, but I want to take backup. You can take here. Okay. So for example, I'm reading this file. I don't want this file. So automatically I'll enable the auto delete true. So after that, here I can move actually. Move to directory. So this file will move to some other directory. While moving also you can give some other name also, like a customer underscore backup dot txt I can give. So while moving only it will rename the file and it will save into some separate folder. In that way it will work. Okay. So there is a lot of option if we discuss. Okay. So MIME type, we can say it's some kind of a redelivery. So something like sometime file, if not file available, so it will retry for multiple times, and advanced settings you can see. Okay. Streaming strategies, these all are will work if you have any huge amount of data. These streaming strategies you have to enable, like repeatable stream, non-repeatable stream, in-memory stream. So you can use multiple streaming strategies, and in this way you can utilize all these options. Okay, let's save this application. So then this application will redeploy. Once this application will redeploy, immediately this file will not read. After 3 seconds it will read. Okay, so let's see here. So 10 seconds, right? Okay, yeah, now you can see 11 seconds. Okay, this you can see file started. So here you can see 28 second. At 28 second it read. After 5 second 33. After 5 seconds 38. 43. 43 to 48, 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds gap it is triggering. Nothing but every time this logger is printing. Here you can see. Continuously it will print only. But first time only 28, right? So first time only, here you can see 25. 25 to 28, 3 seconds gap is there. After that, every iteration we have 5 seconds. So it is deployed at 25 seconds, but it is triggered at 28 seconds. Why? Because I have placed start delay is 3 seconds, right? That's why 3 seconds it took. After every 5 seconds, it is printing the data. Okay, it is printing the data. So for example, I want to, okay, yesterday my brother is practiced some real-time scenario. I'll explain that thing also here. So here you can see yesterday example, right? So in the yesterday example, so I have told you one thing. What is this? So if I want to, okay, if I want to use write mode create new, it will create every time it will create a new file, right? So every time I need to change the file name manually, right? Instead of changing file name manually, I'll create a file name here. Okay, I'll create a file name where with some syntax. Okay, so my file name is like student. So here I'm using some random function. So what is the purpose of random function? So it will create a one random number, like up to range 1000. So first time it will take 200. After that it will take 177. So it will pick one number below 1000 randomly. Okay, and I'm adding .txt. So in this way, we can create a file name dynamically with random number, and I'm okay the file, right, in the path section. Okay, in the path section, I'm giving this file name. Okay, where start, here I'm creating that where, right, the dynamic file name I'm reading here. So usually you will get okay, I'll open this, then you can understand. Okay, here you can see this is the file name. Up to here you can see the path, and this is the file name. So in this path usually you will get backward slash, but we need to change to the forward slash. Okay, same thing I'll implement in this flow also. Why? Because every time it is triggering, right? In my application, every time it is triggering, sorry, not this one. Yeah, every time triggering this customer, and it is returning in a some location, some other location I'll write. While writing every time, it will create a new file. Okay, that task I want to perform. So first I'll stop the console. So, okay, observe very carefully. I want to take the code from here. Okay, Control C. Directly I'll move to here. Control V. Okay, that component I can copy here. So if I want to remove this copy set copy of, I can remove. Okay, now I have created, sorry, now I'm reading customer, right? So here I can give customer. So this syntax I can give. So file name will create dynamically, and here I can use the file write option. So where I will create files, all files in a output folder. New folder I'll create. Output. Okay. So this location I need to read. File new app only, right? src main resource output. Okay. So here I need to give the file name, right? So something file name I'll give. Just now. Just now. Okay. So anyway, I'll change this. Enable FX. Okay. Go to this graphical view. Here you can see all these things. Okay. So these things I want to change dynamically. I have created file name. Here every time I need to change the file name, right? Instead of changing file name every time, I'm generating file name directly in the variable, and I'm calling that variable in the file connector. Okay. So let's see that code also. I'm going to file write. Here I have written this code. I'm copying, Control A, Control C. Okay. So here also, otherwise in this also directly I can edit. Okay, I'll show you how we can edit. So nothing, it is very simple. Instead of this file name, I will call the variable. How can I call? Plus plus. After plus plus, I can call the vars dot file name. What is this file name? So this is the variable name. Here you can see this is the variable name, file name. This file name I'm calling here. Okay. So graphical view, this file name. Remaining all things I can keep in a double quotes. Okay. Double quotes I can keep. Already I have told you, right? So this backward slash will not work. So forward slash only will work. How can I change all the backward slash to forward slash? Control C, Control F. Okay. Replace with forward slash. Replace all. Now you can see all backward slashes replace with forward slash. Now my code is ready. Every time I'll create one new file. Okay, every time it will create a new file in a output folder. Let's see how it will create. So it will read the data. While creating the files, it will create a new files. Directly will it create or not? So it will not create directly. Why? Because so here my mode is write mode. So nothing but every time it will write a data in a same file. If I select create new, then only it will create a new files. Okay, let's see. Now I will run this application. This is some kind of a real-time scenarios. Okay, so while writing your files into the folder, you can create the file name dynamically, and you can pass that file name in a path section. Okay, if you want, I can give these two syntaxes for you. Okay, so this is how we can create the file name dynamically. Okay, and this is how we can create a path dynamically. two syntax I'll paste here. Otherwise, if you want, I'll give this entire application also. Directly you can run and you can test. Okay. Okay, I'll give this entire application. Okay, now you can see it is started reading. Okay, even you can refresh and you can check also. Now you can see it is creating customer random numbers. It is creating 124, 492, 98. If you refresh, it will create multiple. Okay, here you can see multiple files it is creating every time. It is creating multiple times, so it is retriggering every time. It will retrigger this customer, and while writing this customer file, it is creating a separate file. Okay, if you refresh, it will create continuously. It will create. Okay, if I leave this application like this, after one day, it will fill entire this workspace and your system will also hang. Okay, that's why make sure if you are working with any this kind of file operations, you should stop your application once you practice done. Okay, otherwise continuously it will create the files, so then your motherboard also will crash sometimes. Okay, that kind of situations also happen. Okay, so that's why very careful while doing with these files. Okay, continuously it will create the files, so every file have same content. Okay,
స్మాల్ డౌట్.
yeah, tell me.
ఇక్కడ సెట్ వేరియబుల్లో మనము 1000 టైమ్స్ అని ఇచ్చాం కదా,
Yeah,
ఇప్పుడు ఫైల్ 1000 టైమ్స్ రీడ్ చేస్తుందా,
no, no, no,
లేకపోతే ఇంకా
it is only creating this number 124, 163, 22, 264. To creating this number only we have given this syntax. Okay, so if you observe, okay, sorry, not this. Okay, if you observe first, it is customer. Okay, so this is the customer. After that I am creating this number below 1000, 124 below 1000, 163 below 1000, 264 also below 1000, 733 also below 1000. So here you can see 963 also below 1000. So below 1000 every time it will create a one number and it will attach to the customer that random number dot txt. Here you can see dot txt I have used in end of the, okay. So in this way, if you want, I can share this
బ్రో
application.
ఇక్కడ 1000 దగ్గర 10 ఇస్తే ఓన్లీ
Yeah, 4
10
5.
10,000 టైమ్స్
Yeah, no, no,
ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది.
below 10, 4 5 6 7 random number it will be.
ఓకే
Okay, so here we have one more syntax also, right? So I'll share this entire application to you. You can import. Okay, how can I share this application? It is also very important. Try to understand, guys. Okay, just right click on this application, click on export. Okay, and select. Okay, select inside mule. You have to select this option, Anypan Studio project, to this one. Next, select one path. Okay, wherever you want to store this application as a jar file, you have to you have to select that location where you want to store. On desktop I want to store in a jar files. In a jar files I want to store. Already have created a jar files folder. In the jar files I'll store as a jar file. Click on finish button. This entire application will convert into a jar file and it successfully exported to this particular path as a jar file. File new app jar. Let's check that folder, jar files. This is the jar files folder. Here you can see file new app. If I share to you through the chat, okay, so go to desktop and jar files and select this file new app, open, send. Okay, I'm sharing this jar, right? Can anyone share your screen, please? Biram or someone, anyone? I'll show you how you can import this code into your project. Okay, so yeah, you can unmute first. Okay, let's see, I'll tell you, just do it. Okay, let's okay, go to file. First download that jar. Okay, download that jar, so it will downloads into your downloads folder. Okay, chat, go to chat, go to chat. Yeah, so scroll down, download, accept. Okay, it is downloaded, right? So up to 2.3 MB we have, right?
Yeah.
23 2.3, right? Yeah, then go to the Anypoint Studio. Okay, click on file, stop this application first. Okay, stop this application. Yeah, click on file, import option you have to choose. Import. I have exported, right, my application as a jar file. Then you have to import that jar file. Click on Anypan Studio, expand the Anypan Studio, select the jar option, .jar file. I want to import my file as a jar file. Some people will send their file as a JSON file, sorry, GIF file, and some people send their file as a kind of a folder structure. So any format they can send. Okay, so we have, based on the format, you need to choose the option. Now I have exported my application as a jar, right? So you have to choose as a jar. Click on next and select that jar file. In downloads, right? Go to downloads and select the jar file. First one. Open. Finish. Then that entire application will come to your. Okay. Let's wait. Just wait. This is your application. Yeah, first one, right? First one is the right. First application. Expand that one. Okay, what is this? Wait. I think still it is importing. Here you can see under, yeah, now it is imported completely. Here, right? Open that.
Yes.
Scroll down. Okay, so everything is okay there, right? So go to SRC main resource. SRC main resource. Yeah, that one. Open. There you can see out. Yeah, remove all these files. Remove. Shift to and select all. Shift to. Hold shift and select all these things. Yeah, delete. Okay. Presently you don't have any items in the output folder, right? So decrease this 1000 to 10. Let's see how it will print. Random time 10. Okay, so save this and run this. Run this application. So remaining people also you can try in your system as well parallelly. Once it is deployed, you don't need to do anything automatically. Okay, I think it will not do that. So why? Because all paths are my path only, right? Stop this application. Okay, open the that. You need to change the paths completely. Okay, for remaining things also. Okay, don't forget this. Yeah, here it is showing some Niru 3 any points today, right? So it is showing my path directory. Okay, choose your path. Okay, click on browse button. There, where is your workspace? Yeah, do one thing. If you don't know your workspace, where is your workspace? Okay, go to your application, cancel this. I'll tell you one shortcut. Okay, right click on the application. Not here. Close, cancel. Application name, left side. Yeah, there. Right click on your application. Okay, go to properties. Last one. There you can see your application path. Where is your application is saved? Okay, softwares. In the software, studio workspace. There, you click on the arrow mark. Otherwise, directly it will go. You copy that path. Yeah, now copy. Yeah, now close this window. Okay, just if you remember this, then you can go to that path also. Enter. Okay, so this all are right. Go to Anypoint Studio. Okay, remember this path, and otherwise you can copy paste somewhere, and you can, based on that, you need to select here. Okay, select the browse.
I will
Browse.
send 1
Don't
minute.
use this. Okay. Otherwise, yeah. Okay. Go to the there you can browse. Browse the file directory.
Okay.
Paste that in an address bar directly. Enter. So now you have to select your application. File new app. So inside that also you have to go inside. File new app. Browse again.
Where, bro?
Yeah, there only directory. Browse. Not so directory. Just now you have browsed, right? So there same place only. You have to completely browse. Okay, SRC main resource. Click on SRC main resource. Input folder you have to take, right? Input folder. Okay, from input folder you are reading. Select. Okay, and in the right option you have to copy the same path, and you have to, okay, go to the right component. Let's see. Okay, everything is wait. Don't do anything. Okay, yeah, here you need to do that thing also. Okay, click on that graphical view. This you need to change actually. Copy everything, entire thing. Up to resources you need to copy. Don't completely. Only double quotes one only. Yeah, up to output. Okay, remove that. Double quotes also removing. Okay, so keep double quotes and paste your path. Double quotes and path, your path. Control V directly already in copy.
This one, right?
This paste here. Okay, change this all backward slash to forward and give that input folder as a output folder. Control F, forward slash, only single. Yeah, replace all. Okay, and in change input as a output. You want to write your files in output folder, right? Output.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Now done. Click on done and Control S. Let's run this application. Then you'll get. So then automatically it will change. Everyone import this application into your system and do it. Okay, same thing you have to do for the list also. Go above flow. So open the list one. Don't change now. Okay, so here you need to change your path. Okay, you need to give the input path. Okay, this is my path. Actually you have to give your path. Okay, your application is running or not? Check in the console. Printing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, refresh the output folder. Let's see. Refresh, and you can see now within the 10 only it is creating the file output customer something. What you have given? Sorry, I think you have to give the slash also in end of the write. You haven't given the slash, that's why.
In right.
Yeah, on the right. You forget to give the click on graphical view. Okay. So in the end of the path, you have to give the slash. That you forget.
Yeah.
There you have to give the slash. Done. Click on done. Okay. Control S. Okay. Remove all the files. Remove all the files. The files. Delete. Let's see. Okay. Now refresh. Now it will create properly. Refresh. This time it will create properly. Right? In this way. If you refresh again, then it will create more files. Every 5 seconds it will create.
Yes, correct.
Right? Something error is coming. That's fine.
File is creating, but looking some.
Okay, no problem. You can say that thing tomorrow. Okay. That's it, guys. That's it for today. Thank you.